As I mentioned earlier, Buddhism, like Jainism, no God, no creator, but ourselves as a creator. Buddha acted like teacher, simply teach us how to transform our emotion and how to transform into ordinary mind, transform into Buddha's mind. So that's Buddha's sort of responsibility, to just show us. He himself, you see, express, I give you path, I show you the path. So whether you achieve your goal or not, entirely up to you. Like that. So since, you see, the Buddhist basic sort of philosophical view is the interdependency, law of causality. Law of causality, the unique Buddhist term is kasa, dependent and arising. So here, dependent and arising. No, the law of causality in the Buddhist term, tenji devarjuma.
Another reference to the law of causality in Buddhist term is dependent origination.
It's clear. The sound okay. What's your nose do? More louder, more louder.
Another way of understanding the law of causality according to Buddhism or Buddhist philosophy is through the understanding of dependent origination.
Now in all Buddhist school of thought, that is Vivashic school of thought, Sautantic school of thought, Chitta Mantra school of thought, Madhyamika school of thought, 4 different school of thought. So that Tumda Shijalogi, Tenjin Devarjuma Sadi, Tumda Shijalogi Shadi Ore. Di Kwazo di Gunje Dinjung Sadi Shadi Ore. That in Madhyamika school of thought Nalia, Tenjin Devarjuma Sadi, Devu, that Gyujin the Deva. Tezam Gizamayimba, Chajang Church in Shinjela, Rang Chasha Deva. Yala Jaina, Yala Deva. Yala di Yala Jana Deva. Chasha di Chajana Deva. Penzu Dudu said Shayon. Dinde Yindu, Penzu Dune Drua, Saji Gizidi, that Junde Dinjung Sam Mayimba, then a Dagbe Dinjung Sashay.
So when it comes to the view of dependent origination, basically this is accepted by all the 4 schools of Buddhist tenets or Buddhist thoughts. So the common understanding of the dependent origination is on the basis of law of causality, that whatever is born has to be arising from a cause, and therefore cause and result, they are dependent upon each other. This concept is common to all the 4 Buddhist schools. Now, specifically in the case of Mahayana tenets, they say that on top of this understanding, Madhyamika, sorry. In the case of these Madhyamika tenets, on top of accepting the possibility of the dependent origination on the basis of law of causality, they also said that something which is whole has its part, and part and whole, they depend upon each other. So the understanding of the dependent origination is a little bit enhanced in this case.
So in the meaning of Patitsamapanda, there's 2 levels. One, cause and effect. Another, more wider. That
So one understanding is that of law of causality, that cause and result depend upon each other. But a deeper meaning is that things depend upon each other. So things are interdependent.
now the interdependency, cause and effect. And obviously, effect entirely depend on cause. It's, I think, even some animals, also some extent, they know. You see, they want something. So they are trying to make effort about causes. That also, you see, according to law of causality. So now, the mathematical philosophy, they further examine. Then they found, or they say, the effect, not only effect depend on cause, but cause also depend on effect. So it does not mean cause come from effect, no. But the very concept of cause happen because of effect. Without effect, the reality of cause cannot exist, cannot become real. So, 지금 두던 제부스 럽지잖아요. 편수 때도 하다. 제부 줄을 때마다 용자래디 두 제부를 때셔버지 쌈 야고 스타는 제도가. 제부 못 주고도 그 주처럼 말아. 주셔야지 랑자를 때네 그 주차로.
So the fact that cause and result they depend upon each other is quite clear when you analyze more. It is a basic understanding that a result has to be arisen from a cause, and because of that, a result is dependent upon cause. So this is the common understanding. Now, when you really analyze deeper, then you also understand that when it has to be a cause, it should have a result. Without a result, you cannot confirm or you cannot say that something is a cause. So on this understanding, causes also has to depend upon the result, because without a result, you cannot confirm something to be a cause of something else.
So therefore, if we think more deeper way, if we analyze law of causality possible because things are interdependent. So the law of causality prove things are interdependent. Things, since you see, things are interdependent, that means there's no absolute exist or independent existence. Existence, certain thing, its existence happen because of other factor. So now this shows the reality not as appears us. We usually this cause, this is result, this is that, like that. So when we, because of pointing this and that, looks something absolute, something independent. But if we investigate, then things are heavily interdependent. Every event, we say, this event happened because of that, because of this. Just single factor we're pointing out, single factor. But I think, of course, this is not a political statement, but you know, the Iraq problem, or the I think Iraq problem, I think administration. Of course, I respect President Bush very much as a human being, very nice person. But as far as his policy is concerned, now I think he pointing out all the problem due to Saddam Hussein. Once Saddam Hussein removed, then everything okay. But the reality not that. Sometime back, I think before Iraq crisis, sometime back when you see people criticize him one occasion in Germany, I expressed, look, Saddam Hussein, dictator, of course, bad. But unless his sort of powerful army there, that single person cannot be dictator. So dictator happened because of the powerful army. And powerful army without modern weapon, it cannot. So these weapons not produce Iraq itself, but come from other country, including Germany. So, according to law of causality, the producer of dictatorship, these Western nations also involved. Clear? So that's the interdependency. But when we, you see, blame something, we pick up just one target, everything, you see, because of that, due to this person.
Blame.
So that attitude is unrealistic attitude, not a holistic sort of view, but just single out one factor. The reality, many factors involved. Then you see carries some sort of action. That action becomes unrealistic, so cannot solve the problem. Clear? So since things are interdependency, so there is no room of one single independent, but appears as something because of the isolated independent factor. So now this shows there is gap, appearance and reality. If everything, in reality, everything in the reality as appears like that, then no further investigation. It just appear, okay, that's the reality. Since we accept there is gap, reality and appearance, so investigation becomes very important. Like scientific sort of investigation, experiment. So broadly, this, according to science or in many fields, you see, we accept that there is gap, appearance and reality. So now Buddhist philosophy, particularly the Madhyamaka philosophy, say appearance looks independent existence, but the reality, none exists by independently. Everything due to other factor. So here you see concept absence of independent existence there. That's shunyata now. So shunyata or emptiness, something like one coin, one face, emptiness, other face, interdependency. So emptiness does not mean nothingness. Emptiness, absence of independent existence. Clear? So my Christian friend, the monk, Father Wayne, Father Wayne or something. When Tisdale, that father, great friend of mine, great one. He also, you see, showing genuine sort of support about Tibetan cause. So he always, you see, showing genuine sort of interest about Buddhist meditation, these things, and also Buddhist altruism, these things. One day, he even asked me about emptiness. Then I respond to him, please don't ask that. That's Buddhist business, not your business. Because, I do not want to create some uncomfortable feeling about their concept of God. God, absolute, independent, of course. So the Buddhist concept, everything interdependency. Buddha himself, interdependency. Buddhahood, right? Buddha's enlightenment or Buddhahood, everything interdependency. So there's no room of absolute. So difficult to accept creator. So I told him, of course, their own sort of concept, also very beautiful, very powerful, as I mentioned this morning. Like that.